Hi, everybody. My name is Joe K. It's Joe K Music, and welcome to another Day in the Underground. Today, we're going to continue our series, Strange Music Exposed, Part 2. We're going to be diving deeper in to what we've already started talking about last week. If you haven't checked out last week's episode, all you got to do is go to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and go check out the video from last week. We started to set the stage on what is going to be a series of episodes about the business structure of Strange Music. Just to give you a quick recap of what we talked about last week, we talked about the two different holding companies that are owned by Travis Oguin, who is one of the two owners of Strange Music Inc., which is obviously owned by Travis Oguin and Tech N9ne. And we started to uncover how there are several other subsidiaries that are connected to Strange Music, but not directly beneath Strange Music or owned by Strange Music. They're in fact owned by one of the owners of Strange Music, Travis Oguin. Tech N9ne not being one of the owners in several of the other companies that are connected to Strange Music. So today's episode, we're going to dive a little bit deeper. I may have talked at a high level last week when I started saying that there are different companies that Travis owns that are connected, but we didn't really dive into the documentation and the proof and the evidence from what I was talking about. And people, of course, like every other video, they want to see the evidence. They don't want to hear me just talk about it. So again, to get more context, go back to the first video. Make sure to watch that one in full. It's going to give you a lot of details. This is just a bit of a deeper dive into the specifics about what is going on over there and the paperwork and the paper trail, to be quite honest, leading to Travis Oguin that shows that essentially Tech N9ne has been cut out of a lot of the subsidiaries that are getting built around Strange Music. With that being said, let's take a look at a list of companies that I saw in one way, shape, or form connected to Strange Music. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the different companies here that are being built around Strange Music, owned by Travis and or owned by Tech N9ne. So the first one obviously being Strange Music. That's the company that's really the face of all of this. That's the company that everybody knows. We have Strange World Merchandising, we have Strangeland Studios, It Goes Up Entertainment, Strangeland Records, Tyrant Holdings, Menacing Holdings. Those are the two holding companies we talked about in last week's episode. So again, make sure to go check out that episode. Those holding companies basically are umbrella companies for all of the different subsidiaries underneath it, which is really the majority of this list. Continuing on, we have Bloodbox, we have The Wash KC, we have Breann Nicole Scott, we have Designer Crop, we have TDO Property Enterprises, we have Oguin Victoria Drive Enterprises, Oguin Property Enterprises, Oguin Enterprises, Oguin Vehicle Enterprises, and you probably get the point from there. So there are a lot of different companies that have been built around Strange Music by Travis Oguin. And if you do a quick Google search on several of the companies that were on that list, you're going to notice that many of them are on the Strange Music campus over there in Lee's Summit. So many of the other companies are used to diversify his portfolio a little bit and help eliminate risk. It's a really smart business move, to be quite honest. It's what people that are educated in business typically do. They aren't going to put all of their assets underneath one company, because if somebody comes to, let's just say they come to the campus at Strange Music, they fall and they break their leg, right, or worse, and they sue Strange Music, and Strange Music owns all of those assets, that's going to be a problem because liability now all falls underneath one company. So it is actually pretty smart, and it's pretty common business practice when you get to this level to start diversifying that risk and making sure that you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket. So some of this actually does make sense. However, where the problem comes in is when we look at this list of different companies here, I want to look at some in particular. We have Strange Music, Travis Oguin, Tech N9ne. That makes sense. Tech actually for one of the first times that I could see, I know there was an old TMZ report out there saying that Tech N9ne owned 49% of Strange Music, but he actually came out himself on Instagram and said that he does own Strange Music and he owns 49%, meaning that Travis Oguin, who's on the paperwork also, owns the rest of the company, which is 51%, which gives him control over the company. That's where a lot of this is coming into play here. So he can do what he wants with the company, having 51%. When anything goes to a vote, he's the deciding vote. That's ultimately what it means. Anyways, looking at some of these other pieces here, Strange World merchandising, these are the t-shirts, these are the merch that he sells. All the different aspects of merchandise that Strange Music gives out, that all goes through the merch company. Strangeland Studios, that's obviously where they're recording the music. It Goes Up Entertainment, that's the distribution that if you've been watching the vlog, again, not to keep plugging my own channel, but go check out the other video because we just did a video about the whole situation with Written in Blood. And the resolution to that issue was to put the project out, not through Strange Music, but through It Goes Up. Are you starting to get the picture now? They're going to have to pay for all of these different services that are done at Strange Music as an artist. But Strange Music is getting the bill. So this is a very clear path of how the money is being taken from Tech N9ne and moved over into some of these other subsidiaries. Let's go ahead and I want to take a look here at the actual paperwork because I know this is what everyone's been waiting for. And I want to go through each document here very quickly. We're not going to spend a million years going through all of these different documents here because it's pretty self-explanatory. All of these things are public records, so you are by all means able to go access them yourself if you know where to look. And I did my best here to make sure that if there were any addresses that were on some of this paperwork, because, some of these addresses are residential, they appear to be anyways. And contrary to what some people may think, I don't want to put anybody at risk here by putting their address out. The addresses that you're seeing are for the law firm and for the actual Strange Music campus, which again, everybody has access to very easily here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the paperwork. First one we have here, this is Strange Music Inc. If you watched the last video, this is very similar to what we saw before. This proves that Aaron Yates, aka Tech N9ne, is on the paperwork with Travis as the president. Travis is the board of directors, so him being a director gives him that controlling power over the decisions for the company. This is the paperwork for Strangeland Studios. It talks about what its purpose is, making music. If you go down here, you're going to see the organizer, Travis Oguin. This address here is the Strange Music campus. We have Strange World merchandise. This one's actually really interesting because this is actually Travis's wife. I did cross off her name for some reason. I don't know why, because anybody that follows Strange Music closely knows who Travis's wife is. But I just felt kind of weird keeping it out there, so I did cross off enough so that you couldn't know her name per se. But she is, interestingly enough, on the paperwork here. Even though Travis is on the board of directors, just like Strange Music, though, it is very interesting to me that she's listed on the paperwork for the merchandise company. And, apparently, from what it seems, owns part of the merchandise company, which is probably one of the bigger money makers at Strange Music. I mean, Strange Music traditionally makes the majority of its money through the sale of merchandise. So take that for what it is. This is Oguin Vehicle Enterprises. This is the basically the vans, the different trucks, all those different things that they use for touring and transporting all the equipment and things like that. That is likely what this is used for. It also could be used for housing the 10 million different vehicles that Travis buys. There are plenty of rumors and speculation that all of the fancy cars that you see, or the vast majority of the cars that you see, fall underneath this company And that's why you see a lot of the vehicles at Strange Music, because you want to keep up appearances. When you're an artist, you want to be able to keep up appearances. When you're an owner, when you're a CEO like Travis, you don't want to be riding around in a normal man's car like a Honda Civic. You want to pull out the Ferrari for Ferrari Thursdays. All right? If you go on Instagram, you're going to be able to see the Ferraris. Dude has a lot of cars. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. He's, in my opinion, worked very hard to get to where he's at. He's made a lot of money doing what he does, and he should be able to buy and purchase whatever the heck he wants. I've heard about artists, pretty big artists that were on Strange Music that were given vehicles, but they weren't really given vehicles. They were leased vehicles for a certain period of time, and then when their contract is over, they have to give the vehicle back. Because this company exists, it does give the option to get into agreements like leasing and renting and things like that. We have It Goes Up Entertainment, right? This is a rather new one. It says what the purpose of this company is: to operate a distribution company to release music, videos, and other entertainment goods. That's the deal that we just saw go down for the Written in Blood project, but there are several other artists that have used this distribution deal and gotten different items, via some kind of a la carte menu. And as you can see here, Travis Oguin, again on the paperwork. We have Bloodbox. I'll let you guys assume, where that comes from. But to promote and produce music products for individuals and businesses of all kinds, to buy, sell, resell, lease, and generally deal in equipment and devices useful in producing and promoting music. And if we scroll all the way down here, we're going to see that, again, this is Travis Oguin, and we can see the address here is Sloan Street, which is the Strange Music headquarters. We have Oguin Victoria Drive Enterprises, LLC. Again, this is the campus owned by Travis Oguin. And again, nothing wrong with that. I just don't see Tech N9ne in the paperwork. That's why we're here today. Strangeland Records. This is back from 2010. The old fans of Strange Music are going to know all about this. But again, along those same music lines here, Travis Oguin, where they're going to send the forms, etc. This is the car wash there. Obviously, they have a lot of vehicles. Travis wants to make sure the Ferrari's looking real fresh, and so he's going to want to make sure to run that through and pay somebody to clean his cars, because he certainly has a crap ton of vehicles. And I'm not just talking crap about the Ferraris, okay? Of course, everyone loves to joke about the Ferraris because it's it's fitting the profile here. Menacing Holdings, Tyrant Holdings, Travis being the rich CEO who's making all this money. Like, it does fit the narrative, and it's pretty funny. But in all seriousness, they have the car wash there. I'm sure they also use it for the tour vehicles and things like that. But for whatever reason, they decided to build a car wash there. He said this in other interviews and things like that, but he has that that business mind of like the Japanese, right? So the Japanese, basically, they're like, I'm not gonna go to the bank. Like, I'm gonna buy the bank. I'm gonna own the bank. That's kind of what Travis models his his business is like, with that mentality. So it does make sense when you look at it that way. That's what Travis is doing here. He's creating everything instead of having to, go to a middleman to do it. He's like, screw it. I'll just build it myself. Be a nice tax write-off. I can use it however I need to use it. Maybe I'll make a few bucks from it too on the way. All is well in the world. Scroll down. Take a look. Again. Oh, there we go. Travis Oguin. TDO Property Enterprises. This is where things start to get really interesting, because there have been rumors that Travis has owned Tech N9ne's house. That's right. Travis Oguin, at certain points in Tech's career, has given him a place to stay and has owned that property. From what I understand, it's happened for a very long time. There's also rumors of a story we're going to get into in a future episode here about Tech N9ne being kicked out of that house. We're going to save that for another time, though. So we have Oguin Enterprises. Again, different real estate, commercial, and residential. Travis Oguin. Strange music address here. Oguin Property Enterprises, same deal. He has a lot of different properties under these different companies. He likes to break them up in different ways. So again, just trying to diversify that risk. Travis Oguin. This is an interesting one to me. And I don't know exactly who this was for, but there are several rumors. It's called Breann, Nicole, Scott LLC. And it says to carry on a general management consultant and advisory business for all types of business entities and individuals in the United States, foreign countries, subject to the applicable laws, therefore, to furnish business investment and management plans and programs. Basically, what we're saying here, it's a consulting firm. So if we scroll down, same registered agent, which is obviously the law firm that they use over there. And then Travis Oguin is on the paperwork here. Now, there are rumors that this company was basically built to pay somebody close to Travis who was doing consulting work, quote unquote. And we don't know who exactly that is yet. I cannot confirm without a shadow of a doubt who that is. But you could take a couple guesses of family members that have been around strange music that it may have been. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But you can feel free to take your own guesses at it. If we look here at the last one, this one isn't necessarily tied directly to strange music, but it is interesting. This one's called Designer Crop LLC. It was made in 2019, same registered agent. The address, however, is in Lone Jack, Missouri. I did cross out the address because I looked up the address and it is a ballin' house. It is a mansion on tons of land. Absolutely crazy. And if you look here at what the document says, the documentation that we're looking at here says what the purpose of this is, and it's to operate businesses involving cultivation, manufacturing, and or dispensing of organic and herbal medications, and to conduct any lawful business in the state of Missouri. Now, again, you can read that however you want, and maybe he's selling oregano out of the house. But to me, it seems like we have a marijuana dispensary here. And he's trying to dip his toes into that market. Now, this one doesn't tie directly to the Strange Music campus. The address that I was showing you was for a completely different part of Missouri. So this is more than likely his own individual venture, but you have to think about the clientele that he's going to be bringing there. If he is growing these particular substances that are legal in some states for medicinal purposes and in some states recreational purposes, you have to know that that is probably going to carry over into the other big businesses that he has in the music industry and the clientele that he could potentially be, having invest in his product. So, again, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with owning that company there in Missouri. But I do find it interesting. At the end of the day here, it really comes down to one thing. All the evidence that we've seen thus far points to Travis Oguin owning 97% of all the aspects of all the different companies that surround Strange Music. Tech N9ne owns 49% of Strange Music. Travis owns 51% of Strange Music. And all these other subsidiaries are seemingly owned only by Travis Oguin, cutting out Tech N9ne while he's raking it in hand over fist. If you want some additional details, make sure to go check out that first video. But again, the evidence is in your hands. I have laid it all out there. We're going to be diving in deeper, though, next week. Keep your eyes out for a future episode. We're going to continue to investigate what exactly is going on over at Strange Music. I want to hear from you guys. Comment down below and tell me, do you think that it's okay, given the fact that Travis invested his money and took the initial risk into Tech N9ne, where he could have made no money, invested in him with his money that he had already made through his own businesses, and has created an entire empire around Strange Music that doesn't seem to include Tech N9ne getting any part of ownership in any of these other companies? What would you do if you were Tech? Would you have taken this kind of deal? Would you have renegotiated this deal at some point? Tell me what you think. And hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. My name's Joe K. It's just another day in the underground. See you guys next time.